Hi, welcome to my little cafecito corner. Today we're gonna be talking about my wedding day. I'm actually filming on the 1 month anniversary of my wedding day. Yeah. It's a little gloomy, so I'm in a weird little corner of my couch, but yeah. So we're gonna be talking about a few things. The day of the wedding, like how I felt, what I experienced, the timeline. Then I'll do a vendor review because I just think I had the best team ever, and I just want to talk about everyone individually and give them their roses, their flowers, and maybe we'll even talk about some do's and don'ts or advice that I would give to future brides. So let's get started. My wedding was on October 26th. It was on a Saturday at the Views of Mount Fuji. This is about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from my home and where most of my family lives. So what me and my bridal party did, some of them, we got an Airbnb. So we were about 30 minutes out from the venue. So we got there Friday night, and we got it situated. Some bridesmaids helped steam my dress. Some people got high. It was just like a good time. We were settling in, and the nerves weren't really kicking in for me. I was just kind of like, tomorrow's the day. We're gonna do this thing. We're gonna get it done. I think a lot of it was I was talking to so many wonderful women who have had a wedding, and they had given me such beautiful advice, and I was just so calm. And I think what helped the most was that I knew that I had my wedding planner and she was gonna kick ass. I knew that my partner and I had practiced whatever we had to practice, and whatever was going to happen, what it was going to happen, right? The dips, the turns, and all of that stuff. Kiss down the aisle, I just kind of like I had to let go, and I was like, it is what it is. I can't be nervous about things because we practice, and that's the best way we could do. And on top of that, I had such great energy. I feel like for my bridal party, they were so excited for me, and I knew like if she was going to go down or something was going to not go well, they would figure it out and they would have my back and like be amazing. So I wasn't even nervous. I wasn't worried. I was just like chilling, and they're like, "Oh my god, how do you feel? You nervous? Like tomorrow's the day." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm so excited." I felt genuinely excited. So we got there on Friday, right? We settled in, and all these things. We had a little mishap, with the groomsmen's pants. They weren't fitting well, and I think that was like an error from the suits place, but they figured it out. So everyone looked great. Things are going to happen. So everything was tackled well. I think something that we can learn from is try on your shoes when you get them, right? So that was just something that went by and got fixed. Then we went to sleep in the morning of the wedding. I got on up around 8 because I knew that hair and makeup was gonna start around 8:30. So some of my wonderful like bridal parties are like, oh, we're gonna start getting ready to cook and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, amazing, thank you. One of my bridesmen was driving up because he didn't stay at the Airbnb. He was driving up from Long Island because he was like, I want to help do something, and he helped cook because he felt like he wasn't doing enough. He was in California. There's not much you can do. So I was like, hey, if you want to do at least help with the cooking, that'd be amazing. And so he came up on time, started cooking. It was him and two other guys, a groomsman and my other bridesmen. All there chefing it up. And I loved it because, like they didn't know to get hair and makeup done. So it was really nice that they were helping with that aspect. Quick review on the Airbnb. It was beautiful. Chef's kiss. I'm going to link it down below just because I got so many compliments on it. My hair and makeup stylist, um, my wedding planner, everybody was just like, oh my god, this house is so beautiful. And I'm just like, right? Like, so I was really proud of the pick that we made. Um, so yeah, so they started cooking breakfast. Colum and I bought like eggs. My mom got like tortillas. She gave us peppers and stuff. She really came in clutch. She went to BJ's and gave us all these things. She just gifted it to us. So it was really nice of her. And yeah, we had berries, yogurt, eggs, bacon, and I had mini bagels. I don't know if anybody had the mini bagels, but anyways, we had breakfast there around like 9:30 ish, 10. People were getting their hair and makeup done. I was just walking around, making sure things was like everyone was chill. I had brought down an emergency kit. I had made an emergency kit. It was something that I found on like the wedding or the knot, something like that, wedding wire. And I just wrote everything down on a note, had some people review it, see if I was missing anything, and just packed everything. So I was just making sure everything was in the emergency kit the morning of, just glancing at it, and then, walking here and there, checking in on Golam. Because Golam slept in a little bit, he slept a little late. He had a lot of things to do, I think, the night before. He was writing his wedding vows the morning of. Like, he was just writing them in our little book. To be fair, I wrote my vows like 2 days before. So I think we just work better under pressure. And I think our vows are like chef's kiss. Whenever the video comes out, you guys will hear the wedding vows. Oh my God, I can't wait to tell you what our photographer said. But so yeah, so we are just chilling, walking, making sure everything was fine. And I got this comment. They're like, Jess, like you're actually like really chill. And I'm just like, what do you want me to do? And they're like, you're not acting like a bridezilla. And I'm like, when I start yelling at people like, hey Fabian, like why is your hair like that? He goes, oh no, da da da. I'm just like, relax. It's just a joke. It's like there's nothing to do. Like everything's we're chilling. So getting hair and makeup done, and people start rolling in. I had hired a wedding content creator, and Amanda. She's wonderful. We'll talk about her later during the review. I had asked her to come in early because I wanted to gift some cards to my bridal party. They're just handwritten notes and stuff, just giving my thank yous and see how far we've come in our friendships and stuff. And so she recorded that little snippet. Go ahead, go ahead. We love you, we love you, we love you. Watch the hairs, watch the hairs. And then, I got my hair and makeup done. Wedding planner came, photographer came, and we just started like hitting the ground running. And one of the things that I had gotten advice was take moments throughout the day to like just pause and check in with yourself because the day goes by so fast. And I was just like trying to do that. I'm just like, this is nice, just soaking everyone in, just looking at everything, and so that was that. Got our photos taken there. My parents were running late. Some people were running late. It was fine. Like, they ended up going to the venue instead of the Airbnb to change. So, that fire was put out. Went to the venue. I feel like once we hit the venue, things were going by fast but slow at the same time, and I'll tell you why. So we hit the venue around 3, I believe, and I did a first look with my grandmother. But yeah, so got to the venue, didn't know where to go, went downstairs, waiting downstairs, and then people started coming, and someone saw me in my dress, and I was like, oh no. So someone put me in another room, and we're just there, and my best friend's family was there, which was really nice. They got to see me before anyone else because we had to do logistics with my goddaughters because she's 2, she was napping, she was gonna be a flower girl, whatever. She was not about it, and I was like, hey, listen, she just want to walk. Was not about it, and I was like, hey, listen, she just want to walk, it's fine, like it's totally cool. It was nice to like just have those moments, those little moments before the wedding. Doing the first look with my grandmother, I teared up a little bit, and my photographer Billy was such a sweetie. He like grabbed tissues, made sure that he dabbed it for me nicely so I wouldn't take out the makeup, and I was like, thank you. Did the first look with her. It was really cute. Then we waited. I was waiting with Pia, the event coordinator. She was so cute, so fun. One of the reasons why I booked with the venue was because of the event coordinator. Because she's just great vibes. Oh, it's time to walk down the aisle, and I could see my mom, and I could hear my sister, and I'm just like, oh, okay, like, I was nervous. My biggest thing for the wedding day was I didn't want to trip on my dress. So there was that. The way that you walk down the aisle is this is a venue, and there's this long ramp to go outside to where the outdoor ceremony is and the gazebo. So it's this long ramp, and it's covered mostly by a fence, and luckily I'm short so you couldn't see me most of the way. But then once you hit the ramp and you hit the floor, like everyone could see you. And I'm just like, like everyone's there. And then there's still a long path to get to like the beginning of the walkway, kind of like where everyone's sitting. So I was like, okay, and I was trying not to walk fast, but I was also walking myself down the aisle, or most of the aisle. Once I got to where most of the guests were, Golem and I had agreed that he'd meet me up there and walk me down the rest of the aisle just so we could walk down together and I wouldn't be nervous. And so that was really cute, and I really felt like so safe and warm and not afraid to trip. So once we got to the front of the altar, normally it's the women on the left and the guy on the right, but I wanted to switch it so I could see my bridal party and my family, the side of my family, and the groomsmen were behind me. Before we started doing the thing for the first ceremony, because there's two, my officiant, which was my best friend, she um, told everyone, like, we want a cell phone free wedding ceremony, so this is your chance to take photos. And everyone was so happy. They were taking photos. It was so cute. I really like that part because people were like, Jesse, look here, da da da. I was like, oh my god, I get to see everyone that's here, and it was really nice. um so then we started the ceremony, and my best friend was the officiant, and it was just cute laughs. It was lighthearted. I really loved everything that she said. You'll see it in the video.
And I have been friends for almost 20 years. The good thing about having a friendship of so many years is that we have gotten the opportunity to grow up together and be a part of everything of life. From first dates to first kisses to heartbreaks, we have been together through it all. We had a game plan that if we never found someone, we would travel the world and we would live together. And then Golem happened. She traded skater boys with tight pants and band shirts for a businessman with a love of sweaters and slacks. From the moment she started talking about the boy she met at a party, who she spent all night talking to, I knew she needed to give him a chance. Fast forward all these years, and I'm glad she did. Golem, thank you for loving her the way that you do. For supporting her on the hardest days and cheering her on during the good. But most of all, thank you for making her happy. I'm wishing you both a lifetime full of blessings because you guys both deserve that and so much more. Now, I have something that I need to ask you both. Starting with Golem. Golem, do you take Jessica to be your lawfully wedded spouse, to love, honor, and cherish in sickness and in health for as long as you both shall live? Jessica, do you take Golem to be your lawfully wedded spouse, to love, honor, and cherish in sickness and in health for as long as you both shall live? The wedding ring is a symbol of the love you share. It is a circle that has no beginning and no end, just as your love for each other knows no bounds. Golem, as you place this ring on Jessica's finger, please repeat after me. With this ring, I be wed, and I give you my heart, my love, and my promise. Jessica, as you place this ring on Golem's finger, please repeat after me. With this ring, I be wed, and I give you my heart, my love, and my promise. By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife in life. Golem, you may now kiss the bride. We now introduce to you the new Mr. and Mrs. Faisal Monge.
That it was like the best thing ever. And then we were done. We walked down the aisle, and then we went back for photos with my family. And something that was like really like touching for me was that my brothers were crying, and of course my dad was crying or like tearing up. But like my brothers, like that meant a lot to me because my younger brother, who's like he's turning 17 soon, I never know how he's going to react or say emotions because he's an anxious boy, and so he's usually reserved, but he was just so out there with his emotions, like, oh, Jess, you look so beautiful, and like was cheering up and like hugging me, and I was just like, oh god, like so seeing him so confident and like eloquently speaking and like telling me how he feels and like loving me was really nice. And then same with my other brother who's in his early 20s, also said the same thing. Was like, you're so you look so beautiful, like was really happy, like full with tears and stuff, and that made me really happy as an older sister. Like, hey, like, I might not have, I don't see them every day, I don't communicate with them every day, but there's still a lot of like that sibling love there, which I don't think it would ever leave, but it was just so nice to see them emotional about the day, because for me, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, like it's something that I need to get through. Not like that, but it's not nerves, but it's just like there's so many things to do throughout the day. Not taking in those moments of like the emotional part of it from my family. As you know, like we don't always have the best relationship, where things go sour or south, and seeing a dysfunctional family just being a unit and loving for at least a day is very special, and it is extremely heartwarming and something I'll never forget in my life. Yeah, it was just nice. They just grabbed me and they hugged me, and I think that is my only regret of the day. And I told Golam this in the morning after, that I didn't do a first look with my family just because I was so nervous about how they would react. Because, like I said, like my younger brother is just so like, doesn't know how to react with emotions, a little awkward, a little anxious. My dad, too, he's a little serious guy. So I felt like they would just be like, nice. you know? So I didn't want to feel underwhelming in my day. And I spoke to my therapist about it. She goes, you did best decision you could make with the information that you've already had. And I was like, yeah, I know. And like I told myself that as well. But it's just one of those things that tug at my heartstrings a lot. But I knew that it was better safe than sorry, because if I would have done a first look with them and it was not great, it probably would have ruined the rest of my day, right? So there's that. We took photos outside. It was a little chilly, a little cold, but I'm always running hot, so it was kind of good for me. But chilly because we were like up in a mountain. It's the views of Mount Fuji. We were like in a little hill mountain type of situation, so it was a little bit of wind, but the weather was beautiful. It was sunny. Like, it was just great. I loved it. It was the best day ever. We took a little bit of photos. It was about a 2 hour intermission. I had lawn games outside. I have wonderful friends who had brought lawn games from themselves, and also my bridesmaid, who also brought lawn games as well. So they just, thank you guys so much. Shout out to Yami and Mario. Love them so much for that. Truly came through because it was 2 hours. It was cold. It was really cold. But at least there's something to do. If they wanted to come outside, there was a lounge that they could go inside for coffee and tea and waters. That was like free for them. So we took a little bit of photos, went inside, changed into our desi outfits because there's ceremony number 2 happening. And it's called the Nikah. That's a Muslim ceremony. And so we changed into that. And my wedding planner helped me change into that because Golam's aunt was supposed to help us or help me, but she was running late. That's a different story for a different day. Changed real quick, and she was like, I actually just did this the other day. I'm like, I'm glad you had the practice, girl, because emergencies. So we went outside. We did our first look actually in those outfits. We didn't do a first look in the Western ceremony outfits, but we did a first look with our desi outfits. So as I'm going outside, he's ready outside, and Billy, a photographer, was like, do anything you want, something cute, tap on the shoulder, squeeze his butt, da da da. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea, Billy. So I went up, I squeezed his butt, and he turned around and did the thing and whatever. And it was a little awkward because we were just like so cold and we didn't know what to say or do. But they were like, just keep talking, act natural, and we're just like, your patterns are so cute. It was cold, guys. We couldn't think. But we're just talking and chilling. I'm trying our best. We really didn't know what to say, if I'm fully honest. I feel like it's gonna be very awkward, like a few minutes of the video, but And we got our first look. And then we took more photos there. Then we got our bridal parties because some of them decided to also buy Desi outfits, which was really nice. And we all took pictures, and I think this came out so cute. We were running ahead of schedule, so which was nice. Then we went aside and we looked at our like our ceremony space, and oh my goodness, I'm so glad we were able to see our ceremony space like fully put together. I was just like, wow, like it was so nice to see everything with no one there. So in our ceremony space, things were already dark. It was around 6 p.m. ish. Nice thing about our venue is that it's all glass, so you could still see the views outside, the mountains, the city lights. There was a forest fire across the hill from us, the other hill right in front. So we saw that. We could see that blazing. And I was just like, oh my God, like I'm so surprised that, it's so odd to see fire here. And someone had told us that, we've hadn't had rain for a month. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. But yeah, but as much as that sucked, it kind of looked pretty too, at least it wasn't like a negative, you know what I mean? We're looking at our tables, and our decor was we had black tablecloths, wooden slab in the middle, three floating candles of different sizes, fall leaves, fall foliage, and then our centerpiece of a crystal pokeball that was a rotating crystal pokeball. Literally, the way that they put this together, so beautiful. And I was just like, oh man, I love this. We took some pictures there, and then I was like, hey, let's practice our first dance a little bit, see like how we feel. And so we did it. Our wedding content creator was there, captured some of that, which was really cute. We just got to hang out a little bit, which was really nice. And then we had our Nikah ceremony, and we had met our imam for the first time a few minutes before. Really nice. And I was like a little worried because also I came in blind. We both came in blind to the ceremony. We didn't know how long it was going to be, what he was going to say, and I didn't know when to walk out. But I didn't notice all that stuff until we sat down. So we walked in, we sat down. He said a little bit something, and then we signed our documents in front of everybody. And I thought we were done, so I kind of scooted. And then he kept talking, so I was like, "Oh no, not yet, not yet." And I was running in and out because I was a little tired. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is around what 6:30 ish now, so I was a little tired at this point. But I was trying to keep it together and then like look at my friends, look at Golam, look at the imam. So just getting there. And he was funny. He was actually very funny. And then I'm just like, oh wow, I love that he's cracking jokes and people are laughing, people are getting it. So Imam, 10 out of 10. Really great. A lot of imams rejected us because of interfaith. None of like I'm not a practicing Catholic. So it's just like, like, sir, what do you guys? Anyways, so we finally found the one, and he was great. Shout out to Jessie. I think she found him. Ceremony was over. We took some pictures with the imam. Golden wanted to take pictures, and I was like, we have to run. I'm so sorry. Because we did. Because after that, we had our private dinner. And I saw this on TikTok like a year ago about doing a private dinner, private cake cutting. And I wanted to do the private cake cutting, but I was like, you know what? That we're going to be put aside to a different room, and that's just going to take much time. Let's just, do it, whatever, just not make a big fuss about it. But the private dinner, it was amazing. So they set up a table in our reception area in the back. Beautiful. They decor and everything. Brought us 2 plates of what we had ordered. We both got the steak, and the filet mignon was so tender and so like the flavorful. And then on top of that, they brought so many plates of the cocktail hour food, and I was like, oh, thank God. I was so grateful because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be paying all this money for everything and not gonna eat the food that we chose, that we're like, oh my God, because we're reading the menu, we're like, oh my God, this sounds so good, oh my God, this and that. And I'm over here like, go on, we're not gonna have any of it. I'm so sad. So they brought us a cocktail hour food, and I was like, I was already full, but I was like, I have to try to eat as much as I can. So just like they were so great, and they kept checking in on us, asking if we wanted our signature drinks. I didn't want to drink yet. Golem didn't either. We just had water. They're so great. They kept asking, "Do you want your signature drink? Do you want your signature drink yet?" Venue 10 out of 10. So we had our dinner. It was really nice, and then we left to go get changed because we changed back into our Western ceremony outfits. So my white gown and his burgundy suit. So yeah, we went to go get ready. We took some photos in the elevator because I was like, I want like New York City elevator vibes. Some cute photos there. I posted one photo on Instagram and people were like, oh my god, I feel like I interrupted something, or I feel like I, walked in on something. Like, they're like, oh, that was really spicy. And I'm like, I don't think it's spicy, but it's just my leg, guys. So we took two or three photos there, and then we went upstairs to the cocktail hour area, and we just started talking to people. We were mingling and talking. It was really nice. It was like quite 10 minutes, but or even less. But it was really nice that we went and we talked to people when we said hello. We didn't really get that far. We like got to the entrance of the lounge and like kind of stayed there because people just were coming at us, which was fine, which was really nice. Oh, one of his aunts were like, "Oh, we're leaving," and I'm like, "You're not leaving. You can't leave." I was like, "Well, I'm talk to her," because it was a family of 10. That's a whole table. I was like, "You're not leaving. You're eating dinner, and then you could leave." I was like, "Don't leave." So that got situated, and they stayed, and then we went downstairs to get ready to do the reception entrance. So the way that we did it was that parents walked in, or families, because everyone's forced, and then I think the bridal parties walked in after. I don't remember, but it was his bridal party and then my bridal party that walked in. And my bridal party was so cute. They did a little chant, adorable. His bridal party was funny. Just because I was like, y'all are not ghetto. Well, you'll see the video. They're really funny. It was adorable. And they thought about the entrance right before they walked in because they didn't know the name of the song either. So it was really funny. My bridal party practice at the Airbnb was really cute, and I didn't know that until I was looking at the content. That the content creator uploaded into the drive, and I'm like, y'all are so adorable. I can't. And then right before we walked in, we actually set up a video announcing to everyone we had eloped a year before, because we eloped October 13th, 2023. The plan was all along to always have our wedding and around our 1 year anniversary and let everyone know we've already been married for a year. Some people didn't get the concept, but thankfully the DJ was like, yes, everyone, they got married. They've been married for a year. And people were like, oh my God. Well, at least my family was like, what? They were like, what the fuck? They watched the video. We walked in. I should have told bridal parties to be hype. They weren't hype. And I'm just like, ugh, like, whatever. That was just kind of like, oh, like, one of the things to note is that sometimes you do need to tell everyone everything because they just won't get the vibes. And that's fine. We did our first dance. Let's see what the night can do. Let's see what the night can do.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, big round of applause for Colin and Jessica. Vamos, un aplauso para los novios.
The reception, bro, like, what else can I say? I feel like everything was a blur. Like, DJ was amazing. We did the toast. We had 5 toasts, I think. It was my bridesman Sergio, 2 of my bridesmaids, his sister, and then his best man. So 5 speeches real quick.
I'm going to start off by introducing myself. I know a lot of you guys probably don't know who I am. My name is Sergio. I feel really lucky to be here with all of you guys, and of course with you guys as well, celebrating your special day. So I actually know both of these people separately from each other. So I actually first met Golam as a brother of Gamma Omega Delta Fraternity Incorporated. Really, when it comes to Golam, right, he was always one of those brothers who was always there. I think actually one of the first things that I learned about Golam was that he was like the fraternity rapper. Yeah, so that was actually the first thing I saw. I saw a video of him just rapping, and so that was really my first impression of Golam. He was always one of those guys that was in the marches, with the brothers, and I think one thing that I just really admired about him at the time was just that he was. When I imagine a brother of GQB, he was definitely one of the people that just came to my mind, because I'm thinking about how he was that person that would set up the brotherhood retreats in the Poconos, and and when things went wrong in those retreats, right, when we damaged something, or let's just say when things went wrong, he was one of the first people to try and fix it, right, find a solution, right, and so I was just always really impressed by the kind of man that Golam is. A few years later, I met Jessica at a fraternity party. And it's actually a really interesting story because I was really drunk at this party, like, you usually are. I ended up talking to Jessica, and I don't actually remember why I spoke to her. I don't even remember, how we started talking. But she ended up asking me, do you want to be my little? And I know a lot of you guys probably haven't been in fraternities or sororities, but the thing is, I didn't know what a little was at the time either, but I told her, yeah, why not? I don't know. And then I texted her the next morning because I was like, hey, we spoke last night and you said you wanted me to be your little, and she didn't remember talking to me. So But the good thing is, right, that, it's been, I think, about 8 years since then, and, our relationship has really changed over the years, and I'm really glad to have developed such a deep relationship with this person, with Jessica. I think just in the past years, she has been someone that I've grown to rely on. She, to me, is really like a big sister. When we hang out, right, she's one of those people that I just spend hours talking to, right, just about random stuff, like it doesn't even matter what it is. When I have celebrations in my life, when things go well in my life, she's one of the first people that I turn to and I celebrate with. And then when there are things that don't necessarily go so well, right, when I have my struggles in life, she's also one of the first people that, will ask, how can I help? And so I'm just, really grateful to have Jessica, of course, in my life as well. And so really both Jessica and Golam have had such an important place in my life over the past few years, and I just feel really lucky to be here with you guys and share this moment with you guys. Golam, I think that you're extremely thoughtful and caring. And the longer that I've gotten to know you, the deeper that I really have come to respect you as a person. And I know that you will work hard to make a beautiful home with Jessica and a beautiful future together.
Hi guys! Alright, so I think everyone here knows me, but for those who don't, I'm Amy. I am Jessica's cousin. Jessica's cousin, but I probably identify myself more as Jessica's sister.
Wow.
Thank you. Yes, so growing up, Jessica has always been a big sister to me. She's loved me like a little sister. She's bullied me like a little sister. We love and fight each other like sisters because there's so much love. And as soon as I met Golam, I knew Golam was it. I knew they were going to get married. And the more I've gotten to know Golam, the more I've gotten to respect you as well. I see how much you love and care for Jess with everything. And Jess is so special. So of course, she deserves someone to be there for her. And I know you're the man for the job. And my family sees it. I'm talking on behalf of them because we see how you are with Jess, and we're like, wow, Golam truly is amazing to Jess. And like I said, Jess deserves the world, and I know you work hard to give it to her. So I am so grateful, and I am so happy for both of you guys. I have always rooted for you guys, always will be. I'm always here for you guys. I love you, and thank you so much for everyone being here.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Amy.
I think that I have introduced myself a few times, and I think I'm pretty much known as the best friend. But just in case you don't know, hi, I'm Stephanie, Jessica's best friend. Also Amy. I want to start off by thanking both Jessica and Goam for not only allowing me to be a part of today, but also for giving me the chance of being part of your love story. I think one of the best things of watching your best friend find love is you get to see your best friend find love. I think that it's been so amazing to watch the culmination of the journey that is you guys, to see the way that you love each other, to see the way that you support each other, and I think that for everyone who has been a part of it, we've all been just slightly a little blessed. If you could just bless us, please, with babies, that would be great, because Haley and Adelie are growing by themselves. We have a time clock. Jess, you know that I love you and I care for you, and you're also almost like my sister. So I think it's only suiting to welcome you as a brother as well. If there's anything, of course, that you need, you know that we're always by your side. And like I think everyone else in this room, we're all rooting for your love story, and we hope that it continues to grow and bless abundantly for the rest of your life. So we could all take a moment to raise our glasses to toast to this beautiful couple. Let's go ahead and do that. So Jess and Goam.
All right, round of applause for Stephanie now. Up next, let's give a big round of applause to the sister of the groom. Give it up for Lisa now.
Oh, he had to lower the mic to reach my. For those who don't know me, I'm Lisa, the groom's younger sister, but also known as the favorite child. But today I'll share a little bit of my spotlight with my brothers. Growing up with a 12-year age gap, our relationship wasn't like many others. He was more like a second parent to me, but
Lisa, go for it! Come on, Lisa, I got you!
he was more like a second parent to me, but a way cooler one because he let me get away with spending his money. So if you're wondering why we couldn't invite more people, he probably had to budget after being my personal wallet for so many years. All jokes aside, my brother has always held a special place in my heart. He spoils me,
Speak it! Go for it!
guides me through adulthood and takes on my responsibilities for me, because that's just what older siblings do. He even named me after Lisa from The Simpsons and raised me watching SpongeBob with him, which I'm convinced has permanently shaped our personalities. Now, Jessica, you're lucky to experience the same loyalty, love, and humor that I've always cherished in him. But for a lifetime. You brought a new world of Salvadoran cultures and love to our family. And we happily welcome you with open arms. I'm so grateful to be up here sharing my love for you both. And we're all excited to see what this new chapter brings to us. Congratulations, Bhaiya, and my new sister, Jessica.
Come on, guys, give it up for Lisa one more time. All right, last but not least, let's give it up for Phil.
Mic check.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. Let me be proper. Just kidding. My name is Philip. I've known Goam for 14 years now. Met him in sophomore year of high school. One thing that we have in common is that we both transferred into that school at the same time, and we met each other actually in gym class. We were, I don't know if you remember Goam, but we were picking basketball teams. And one thing that stood out was I was like, hey, what's your name? We both got picked to be on the same team. And I was like, hey, what's your name? He was like, Golem. And I looked at him like a deer in headlights. I'm like, huh? Golem? Like, what kind of name is this? And he's like, you watch Pokemon, man? He's like, the Golem. I'm like, okay, I got it. And I was dying. And ever since, we just became super tight friends. And the one bond that we shared was sports. Basketball was always fun, but when we just started hooping together, it just became a passion, and it was something that we looked forward to. It built the foundation for our friendship. And I remember when we got to college, that's around the time that you started listening to a lot of the inspirational, motivational speakers. And for anyone that has Golem on Instagram, he used to post like motivational quotes and videos of like Myron Golden, Tony Robbins, and like after a while I was like, come on, Golem. I was like, come on, that's enough. But truthfully, one thing that I admire about Golem is that he actually took a lot of those meanings of those quotes into his life, and just seeing how you work so hard and you take care of your family, you take care of your now wife, it's beautiful. And I just wish you nothing but the best, you guys. I love you, Golem.
One more time, round of applause.
We did rapid fire photos just because they had suggested doing table photos, the wedding planner, but I was just like, I don't really love how wedding like those look. I did it for my quinceañera. I've seen them at weddings. I don't like how they look at all. So we did the rapid fire, the dance floor, which is rapid fire. It's like they call it table by table. So like table one, come to the dance floor, take a photo, da-da. And I liked that much more. We just danced for the rest of the night, which was like my biggest thing. I was like, I want to dance for the rest of the night. And it's always a hit or miss with the DJ because you never know, right? But my DJ was amazing, especially for me, because usually all the weddings that I've ever been to, they're just Latinos, like, so you just play Latino music all night, bachata, merengue, cumbia, and you're good. There's not really like, much about it. But we were having a fusion wedding, and besides that, like, not all his friends are brown or Latinos, neither are mine. Like, we have very mixed friend groups, and we can't just play Latino music all night. I want it to be as inclusive as possible for everyone to have fun all the time, So, and our event coordinator brought us our signature drinks during the speeches. She goes, now you need this. And I'm like, thank you. You're just on top of it. So yeah, we danced the night away. Golem's mom was a blast. She was just dancing, living her best life. Love that for her, because also she brought everyone into the dance floor. Like when the dancing music came on, she was out there busting her moves and like other people felt encouraged to go dance and do the same thing. Like, I loved the vibes. My beautiful goddaughter, my little 2-year-old, like, she was dancing the night away, wanted to be with us, and I'm just like, I love you so much. But I also got sweaty, so I was like, I can't carry you the whole time. I gave her 2 Golem. I'm like, go to your padrino. So I loved it. I felt so loved, and she looked so happy, and I feel like we looked amazing holding her and dancing with her. There was rock music. I loved that so much. I think there was EDM. People were asking for bachata, and I was like, oh, like, did I not ask for bachata? Like, that's so important. So I told Golem to go ask the DJ for like a few bachatas. She's like, duh. But I think I was just having too much fun to like even realize there was no bachata. So that's a good thing. We did our thank you speeches. We explained to everyone that each pokeball was assigned to someone at the table, and everyone loved that. So that was great. Just because I know tias already, like, they fight over flower centerpieces. So I'm just like, the nerds will fight over the pokeballs, they all had someone assigned for the pokeballs, and people love that. Everything was just so great. Toward the end of the night, we did our cake cutting. We did little feedings, and then I went to go see the coffee station because I had brought mini quesadillas, Salvadoran quesadillas, and to put over there. Everything looked immaculate. I told everybody, go get quesadillas. And they did. And the tias, grandmas put in the purse. They're like, yep, I'm taking this home. Party favors. This was something I really struggled with because I'm a coffee person and I also collect coffee mugs. I really wanted to give out mugs, but I'm just like, I've been to so many weddings where like I get a mug and then it just gets put in the back of the shelf or something, and never used or never seen again. So I didn't want to spend so much money and like that happened. And we're not soap people or candle people, so I was like, I'm not trying to give people that. You know, even when I've gotten soaps in the past, they just go unused. Since our wedding was so close to Halloween, I was like, I'm making Halloween goodie bags. So we did that. That was really fun. I think it was just really cute. It was just like a mix of everything where it's like nerdy stuff, Halloween stuff, just things that we loved throughout the night, you know, things that were our vibe. Our signature drinks were named after our boys, our little cats. Loki's Mule and Namor's Nectar. So Loki's Mule's Moscow Mule. Namor's Nectar was a honey and coke Golem's drink. Yeah, that's kind of a wrap of my wedding day, I think. I hope I didn't miss anything. We also had a photo booth. They were cool. I wish we'd have taken more photos with like our friends in the photo booth, but it's fine. Like we had such a good time on the dance floor. Like we didn't leave the dance floor, you know, so that's also a good problem to have. It was a wonderful, wonderful night. Oh, instead of doing a bouquet toss, we did a limbo competition. That was my wedding planner's idea, which I was like, that's great. I love it. Um, and yeah, so they did a limbo competition and my bridesmaid won. She's like, I don't want to win this. I'm like, well, it's yours now. So, um, so yeah, it was so funny. She was like, no. I was like, yes. That was like the end of the night. So a recap of like vendors, I guess. Let's start off with the venue. We saw a lot of wonderful venues. And we came down to two. I will say we went to Strathmore, and I see this a lot on like the wedding pages in New Jersey, New York. And the person that we saw, her name was Linda, I believe. And she was like all right, but when we would ask some things, she would say it so matter of factly, like we should know these things. Sorry, ma'am. This is the first time I was getting married. I felt a little condescending. So I just felt off. I love the venue. It was a little pricey, but it was what I wanted. It was rustic, beautiful, outdoors. It was about 2 hours, 2.5 hours away. So I was like, damn, like, I really want to. I really want this place. But she just made me feel off and made us feel like we were asking stupid questions. So I was like, I don't know. And then when we finally had hired Jesse asked her for the contract so she could review it. And she said, I'm not sending you the contract unless they sign. And I'm like, okay, that's a no for me. Because like now you're being an asshole. If we're hiring a wedding planner, it's for her to review the contract to make sure everything is all right so we could work with you. So I was like, nah, just a red flag. So we kept looking. The view of Mount Fuji was still there as an option, but I was like, I just want to keep looking for a little bit more. So then we found, I think it was called Lake Valhalla. And Golem liked it because of like Thor and stuff. I didn't even notice the name, but I was just like, it looks rustic. It looks that was the vibe that I wanted. I wanted a rustic vibe. And so I don't know why. I just like the rustic and string lights and stuff. And they were amazing. It was such a hard choice. It was a good price, wonderful package. Event coordinator, amazing, so nice. They said if we signed with them, we were able to use the country because of the country club for a year or for until our wedding date. And that was only an hour and a half away, same distance from the as the views of Mount Fuji. Such a hard choice. They had welcome drinks for guests. I think they did like mimosas or something. The only thing that I just didn't love was like, since we're having two ceremonies, to use a bridal suite early, we'd have to pay. The ceremony space would be done outside twice, so no change of ambiance. And then also the walkway is short, but on top of that, there's an actual lake behind, which that's not a problem, but there's sand right before the lake. I didn't like how that looked in photos, and I also don't really like sand or beachy stuff, so it was very much not me. And then for picture purposes, like if we do a first look or pictures outside, there's just like boats and like little boat docks, like the docks. And I was like, I don't want that in my photos. So everything else was so amazing though. That was literally so amazing. So I was a little sad to let that one go. But at the end of the day, both were really great. And just like, I don't think I would have went wrong with either place, but the Views was very much a good choice too. So when we went to go first visit the Views, I had a list. I had like a packet of questions that I had printed out, just ready to go. And Pia complimented it at first sight. She goes, "Oh my god, you have questions? That's great, amazing! Like I love that." And I was like, "Oh, you're so cute. You're so like you notice, and you're so positive about it." Showed us around. She was very enthusiastic. She genuinely seemed to love her job and like not be tired of touring, because we found was that people were just unenthusiastic. They were blah. They were like, "Oh, I just came off from another tour." Da da da. Her no, she came off on another tour, same energy, and I was like, "Wow, like she must really love her job. She, you know, whatever." And toward the end, she was like, "Oh yeah, we'll also do a Sunday package for you, like a Sunday, like ice cream Sunday. I really love doing those. Cause I go to the store and I buy these things like sprinkles and stuff, and I enjoy doing that." And I'm just like, "Wow, you're very involved." And I was like, "Wow, holy crap!" Like even to the little things. We didn't end up doing the Sunday thingy. That was just noticeable, like how much she cared about her job and loved her job. So it made me feel like I had a confident choice and that we were in good hands. Yeah, so we signed with Pia and the views of Mount Fuji. I just cannot recommend that place enough. And when we were touring that day, another couple had just got married. They said the same thing. So let's move on to our wedding planner, Jessie. So I found her on Instagram. I did a lot of my research online on Instagram or TikTok. And when I was scrolling, I was just scrolling. I wasn't looking for a wedding planner at the time, I think. And it was this couple who was cutting their wedding cake with a Halo staff. I mean, Golem loves Halo. So I was like, let me look and see her page. And her bio at the time was like unconventional weddings. And I was like, okay, I feel like that kind of is us. And so we got on a call with her and two other wedding planners. The other wedding planners were fine and stuff, but I felt like I clicked more with Jessie's personality from the get go. Like, we were at the same level and it was really nice. So, and she also had like the best pricing, if I'm being fully transparent as well. Best bang for your buck. And yeah, she seemed absolutely worth it, especially with her experience. So, hired her, and she was a godsend because everything, she helped with a lot of things, right? Like picking up vendors, X, Y, and Z. But especially the week of, or like the month of, and the day of the wedding, like she handled everything. So like she was just like putting out fires, or like not letting me know about fires. Like she was like, "If this is your day, you don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Like you don't worry about a thing." And I was like, I love that. I appreciate that. That's how it should be. The amazing Jessie. I highly recommend her for everything and everything. Then she recommended Billy. That was the first vendor that we signed on with. And he's a videographer, photographer all day. And, since we're having such a long day, that was kind of like the struggle of like pricing. I was looking at paying 6K for photographer and also videographer. So 12K in total, like, because people weren't doing bundles. I mean, people that I found at least. He was great vibes from the first call, and super sweet, super kind, and super like understanding. And I was just like, he seems fine. He seems great. Like, why keep looking? Jessie has spoken so highly of him already. So we booked with him at a great price, in my opinion. And we had our engagement shoot with him around April, May. I think it was April. Great vibes from that shoot. And then also great results. Are you kidding me? I put the pictures up for our engagement party, and people loved it. And they were like, "Oh my god, these are so well done," and whatever. And I was like, yeah, like we paid good money for it, but also Billy is amazing. Day of our wedding, Billy came in, great attitude, dressed amazing, his team amazing, great attitude, so kind, so helpful. Billy steamed my wedding dress, and I'm just like, sir. Helped trim some things with, he had like professional scissors. Then he had like, what was it, fabric scissors. He would not let me cut things off my dress with regular scissors. He said no. And yeah, he was just like on it, like, from making sure my makeup was fine, everything above and beyond. Oh, I forgot to mention this during the timeline, but for our vows, Glom and I were just sharing our vows, and then when we were done, you see Billy was red, and he's like, "You guys, like," and I'm just like, Billy, such an empath, like such a great person. Whole team, chef's kiss, gave us at the end of the day, but he gave us photos, like little Polaroids and stuff. Looks great. I mean, it's like, oh, I love this. I also did that for our engagement. She gave us Polaroids right after. Billy was like, I cannot complain. Even my friend who was like a bridesmaid, she's like, "Oh my god, that's so expensive. Like, no, like I could have helped you find someone cheaper." And I was like, "Oh, like kind of pay what you get for." But she was like, "I know you're paying him a lot, and he's absolutely worth it." And I was like, "Thanks," because he just like knew what to say, knew how to hype people up, help people with their hair, just knew how to like work with the group and the crowd and stuff, and telling us how to pose and everything in such a kind manner. I'm gonna seem amazing, always fluffing my dress, fixing me up or whatever. But that's Billy, 10 out of 10. Then there's also Amanda, our wedding content creator, who I found, I think in the spring or summer. I had asked in a group, one of the Facebook groups for a wedding, and wedding content creators not cheap. um, I was looking, and most of the prices were around $1,000, and I was already talking to someone who was a professional photographer but also does wedding content creation. And she seemed great and whatever. And then Amanda slips into my emails, and she's starting out, she's brand new to this, but it's her business or whatever. Like I was like, I had one request. I wanted that sunglasses wedding trend.
The freedom of the night, at night.
Yeah, the one that I just posted. That is what I wanted. I asked her, I'm like, "Can you do this?" And she said, "Yes, she can." She didn't really have a portfolio at the time, wasn't really active on social media at the time. Um, but her price, you could not beat her price at the time. I was like, "This is a steal." It was like less than a quarter of the average price. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, but she was just starting off her business, so I understand. Like as an entrepreneur myself, like I get it. Like you get your feet wet. We had a Zoom call and we were talking and stuff, and I was like, it is going to be a long day. Are you sure you'll still be able to do it for the price that we talked about? And she said, "Yeah, absolutely." I think I also told her an email because I was trying to be as transparent as I could. She killed it the day of my wedding. She was on top of everything, holding my makeup, having safety pins in her fanny pack, asking me if I needed X, Y, and Z, asking me if I needed retouches, just being extremely helpful across the board. Took so many photos and videos, and I'm so grateful because I got them all the next morning around 9:30, 10:30. So I woke up to seeing all these beautiful things and just organized, right? And I'm just like, oh, wow, like, because I don't know when I'm going to get my photos for the wedding back, like from Billy yet, which like you do not rush excellence, right? You don't rush that. But I'm just so grateful that Amanda took what she took, because I get to reflect and I get to post and I get to do X, Y, and Z with whatever she took, and it was amazing. And it's just, I love everything about it. She was great. Like my mom loved her. My mom is such a picky person. She hates everyone. um, and a lot of my friends loved her. My best friend's considering her for her wedding, and just I highly recommend Amanda. Highly, highly recommend Amanda. She is amazing. Great asset to have in your team. Oh my god, how can I forget our amazing DJ? I'm not going to lie to you. This was one of the ones that I was the most nervous about, because I was researching a lot of DJs and I was like, oh, like, I don't know. Like, first of all, I wanted them to be able to blend music really easily or well, right? Like, can you go from rock to bachata to desi music? Like, can you make that flow? Very important for me. I was listening to some of his music or his mixtapes. I don't know what they call it nowadays. I don't know what it's called. But I was listening to some of the things that he's done. And it was all EDM based. Not a bad thing. But I was just like, I can't get a vibe here from that. But I was just like, I'm going with my gut, and just hoping for the best. He knows what I want. He knows what we don't want. He is a professional who's been doing this for years. So like I just have to trust the process. That's it. I'm just gonna have to trust the process. And he did a bomb job. He played Salvadoran cumbia. He played the Desi music, a bunch of it, rock music. I think he played EDM, threw the bachata in, and ended with one of Golan's songs. And it was just like amazing. He was a great MC. This man knows what he's doing. And you know, funny enough, he actually DJ'd one of my friend's weddings last year, and I was telling her, I was like, "Oh my God, he did such a great job! Like with there's Salvadoran cumbia in it." And she goes, "Yeah, he did a great job blending like Salvadoran music and also Polish music." And I was like, "Oh, that's so great!" And I didn't realize that it was the same DJ. If you are considering a DJ that is just fusion and just knows his shit, DJ Fernando. Okay. I'll link all of these people and vendors below. I had the best team. I have no complaints about them. They were literally amazing. They kicked ass. They made me feel so confident and not worry about anything. So that was my wedding day. I hope you guys enjoyed the little recap and the photos and the videos and everything about it. Wedding planning is hard. Okay. What I will leave you as advice is that if you're planning a wedding with someone, be prepared for arguments, tension, and stress because that's normal and natural. But how you resolve it is really what's going to. These are just little tests for your marriage. I feel like this, how you handle these arguments or disagreements or little, you know, spats. They're just gonna help you set the precedent and get comfortable with whatever comes afterwards. I always thought like, you know, what's the point of getting married? Everything's the same, but I think it just solidifies how serious the relationship is, and that's kind of what the biggest thing is. You're more serious, you know. Your end game, right? You're trying to be in each other's lives for the rest of your lives, and that's the point of marriage, right? And so it just makes it more serious, I guess. But what I was gonna say is, yes, wedding is gonna test your relationship a lot because there's a lot of planning and things that you didn't do in the past, most likely, that you're going to do now, and it's different versus eloping, which I eloped last year. I did both, so I could give you both perspectives. Eloping was quick, easy, to the point, and it was fun, and it was not crazy. I said that if I could choose one or the other, I would just elope. I said that in the past, but I think I would always. I think the wedding is an experience that I'm not gonna say that you have to have, but it's something that you've always wanted to have, or something you've even been on the fence about. Do it. Because yes, it's expensive. Yes, it's a headache, but you're never gonna feel on cloud nine like you do that day, and you're also never gonna have all the people that are special to you and love you in one room ever again. Not all of them at the same time, at least. I saw that in a video where it's like this is the only time where you're gonna have everyone important to you in your life in one room, and that's true. We invited about 100 people. 2 didn't show up, and that's okay. But just being in that space, and when I did my speech, just looking at everyone and taking everything in, was like, wow, like you guys are the closest people that I love. It's really nice to have everyone in the same room. So just something to think about. You know, it's really hard to get people together, family together, ever. Right? You're never ever gonna have 100% attendance. I didn't. I was damn close. It was really nice. But yeah, I would say plan the wedding. Like do it. I would, as much as I wouldn't want to do the planning again, but I think the day was so special that I would go through the headache again one more time. That's my advice to you. If you want to elope, if you're ever on the fence of having a wedding, do the wedding. It's a great feeling and it's a great experience if you have a good team. There's that. Have your party the way that you want it and have no regrets with it. Don't let anyone tell you what to do. And if someone is trying to bring you down or say something negative about it, uninvite them shamelessly. Yeah, please, if you made it this far, like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. I'm turning 30 in just a few weeks, so that'd be a great birthday present for myself. Thank you. Bye.